Vinland Saga is a masterpiece and might even be the greatest new gen anime, but it doesn't get talked about enough. What's up guys, my name is Midnight and in today's video I'm going to be talking about why I believe Vinland Saga is a masterpiece. As always, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and make sure you stay until the end. Season 1 and Season 2 of Vinland Saga are drastically different. Season 1 being more of an action-adventure anime, and Season 2 really just being the complete opposite, slowing down and just focusing on Thorfinn's character arc. After Season 2 release, many people did not enjoy the anime, because it just completely took a left turn from Season 1. Well, who can blame them for not liking the anime? After watching Season 1, you feel like you have an understanding of what the show is going to be about, and then Season 2 just completely flips the script. In my personal opinion, I really enjoyed Season 2. I really loved how the story really slowed down and just focused on Thorfinn's character and him really trying to figure out why he's like this and why he does the things that he does. I understand some people might have dropped the show after watching Season 2, but I highly advise that people just give the show another chance because you will be surprised about how good the story is. In Season 2, we really meet some amazing characters that really help Thorfinn understand himself as a person. When Season 2 starts, we meet this red-headed guy named Einar. So Einar got turned into a slave after his village got raided by soldiers and his family got killed. So after Einar got turned into a slave, he got bought by this slave master named Kettle. And Kettle wasn't no ordinary slave master. He would treat everybody the same, even if you were his slave or not. So after Einar gets bought by Kettle, Kettle tells Einar that he does not have to be a slave his whole life, that he could actually work for his freedom. So he tells Einar that he will need to work on a land and end up selling the land back to him so that he could be free. So after Kettle tells Einar that, he shows Einar the land that he will be working on and who he'll be working with. And you guessed it, it was Thorfinn. And that's how the first episode ends. When Thorfinn and Einar first meet, Thorfinn really doesn't talk to Einar. He really keeps to himself for about the first 5 episodes. But as the seasons progress, Thorfinn really starts to warm up to Einar and really starts to tell him about his past and all the stuff that he's been through. Particularly in this one scene where him and Thorfinn were in a barn, and Thorfinn tells him that he used to be a soldier that killed innocent people. And Einar wasn't really happy about hearing that. So in this season, we really see Thorfinn try to overcome his past and try to overcome all the hardship and trauma that he's dealt with. Particularly in one scene, him and Einar are in a barn and Thorfinn is sleeping. While Thorfinn is sleeping, he keeps constantly having nightmares about the people that he's killed. So Einar wakes him up, and in that moment when Thorfinn wakes up, he realizes that he has to change and he has to become a better person. So with Thorfinn wanting to be a better person, he really wants to stop being violent and wants the people around him also to stop using violence. But there is one scene where workers are harassing him and Einar, and he's really trying to tell Einar to just really not be violent, even though they're the ones getting harassed. But as you could tell, it ends up just going to straight violence and he ends up getting beat and Einar ends up just fighting the workers. So as Thorfinn progresses as a character in this season, he realizes that violence causes nothing but pain and trauma to the people that he's harming. So his goal in this season is to find a place in this world where violence and war does not exist. But as you could tell, that will be pretty hard to find. As Thorfinn and Einar are working hard to free themselves from being slaves, Kettle ends up going to England because he hears that the King of England is about to pass away and he wants to give him gifts before that happens. But as they arrive to England, Kettle and his sons hear that the king has sadly passed away, so they decide that they want to have a meeting with the new king so that the new king can honor the deal that they had with the previous one. So as they are having their meeting with the new king, it is revealed that the new king is Canute. Yes, Canute from Season 1, but he has changed a lot. He is not that little scrawny little boy anymore. He has turned into a full-blown man. So as the meeting with Canute starts, Kettle asks Canute if he will be able to honor the deal that he had with the previous king, Canute's father. But as the meeting is just starting, Canute's son stands up and has an outburst. So he stands up and he begs Canute to let him join his royal army because he wants to go into war and he wants to be ready to be a man. So Canute tells him to go cut a pig in half with this sword. He wants to see his swordsmanship. As he goes to cut the pig, he realizes that he can't. He has not enough strength. And Canute tells him that he will make his decision tomorrow. So after that embarrassing performance by Kettle's younger son, he is just embarrassed. He is down and out and he feels like he's a laughing stock. which he is, because he goes down to go eat at a place and then everyone at that place is laughing at him and making fun of him. So as he is at the restaurant, everyone's laughing at him. Thorgel comes, Ketil's older son, and tells him to go stand up and be a man and don't let people humiliate you. And he tells him to go challenge that man to a duel, which he does. So as the duel starts, you could clearly tell that he is nervous and he has no clue what he's doing with the sword. He is just shaking and shivering in fear, but he still goes ahead and fights. So Ketil's younger son is running towards him, getting ready to attack, but as you can see, there's someone standing in the crowd that flicks something at the opponent's eye and hits him right in the eye, allowing Ketil's younger son to be able to strike him. Everyone in the crowd is completely shocked that he was able to do that. So the police come to arrest him because duels are not allowed and he just murdered a man. But Thorgel completely goes off on the cops, killing them all. After Thorgel murders them all, now Ketil and his farm are wanted by Canute, and now Canute wants to take his farm. So they have to flee England and get ready for war. But after that happens, we learn that that was Canute's whole plan, to allow that duel to happen for him to get arrested so that he could take Ketil's farm and have it to himself. As everyone on the farm is getting ready to prepare for war, Thorfinn and Einar decide that they want to make an escape and leave the farm. But that's when they learn that war is happening, and Thorfinn decides to turn back to try to stop this because he just does not like violence. Thorfinn meets up with Canute's army and he asks them to speak to Canute, and they say no, they're not letting some scrawny boy speak to Canute, but he keeps insisting. And one guy says, if you can take 100 punches straight, I will let you go speak to Canute. So Thorfinn agrees to his deal and he decides to take 100 punches straight without falling down so he could speak to Canute. And everyone is shocked as he took 50 punches in a row right now and he has not fallen once. After taking 100 punches straight, they finally let Thorfinn speak to Canute, and Canute and Thorfinn finally reunite after all these years. But as Canute looks at Thorfinn, he cannot recognize him anymore because this is not the same angry little boy that he remembers. So after Thorfinn and Canute get done catching up, Thorfinn decides it's time to start negotiating with Canute about leaving his farm. And he starts by telling him about his dream, about how his dream is to find a land where no violence or war exists. But Canute tells Thorfinn that his dream is to find a land of peace for the Vikings. So he tells him that he cannot leave. But after a while, he decides to leave anyways, so he does not cause too much work for Thorfinn. This series really made me fall in love with Vinland Saga and really also taught me some important life lessons, and I cannot wait for the rest of the series. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next videos I'm about to drop.